So what is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I want to share with you guys the 3 simple ways that if you implement this, you will reduce your chargebacks dramatically as a life insurance agent. Are you tired of getting chargebacks? Well, I am too. And ultimately, I want to give you guys just 3 simple things that you can implement that will help. Number 1, your clients make their first payment and actually keep the policy. Secondly, have their clients actually keep your policy for life. And third, I want to teach you how you can get your client to promise you that they're going to keep the policy, that they won't cancel, and that they're going to be a client for life. And ultimately, this is all in your sales strategy that can help you become a better life insurance agent to make more money. So let's jump into it. Before I get there, my name is Peter Roberts. I am the owner of Legacy Family Life. We currently have a life insurance agency that helps agents sell life insurance without chargebacks, without lead costs. And ultimately, our mission is to help agents actually make money, and that's what we do inside of our agency. So I want to give you guys this channel for free to help you make more money, to hopefully provide a better lifestyle and a living for your family. Now, what I want to share with you first is our client retention is typically around 80 to 82 to 85%. The average standard of the industry is 65 to 70%, and it's because of these strategies that we've implemented and put into our script that can help you make more money. Now, I want to share with you that if you do this, you will see a lift in your business and how many people want to stay with you long term. So let's jump into it. Let's give you guys the first advice of how to increase or reduce your chargebacks immediately overnight. The first thing is to stop your medical approvals. Okay, in your sales process right now, if you sell like this, you are losing money, you are going down the wrong hill, and you are never going to fix your chargeback problem. If you sell like this, well, Miss Betty, I know you need to think about it. Let's go ahead and see if we can get you medically approved, and then we can push it out for a start date, and then you can call me back and you can cancel it. Bad, terrible. Secondly is, Miss Betty, let's go ahead and see if we can get you medically qualified, or let's see if we can get you qualified first, and then you can always call me back and we can see if this makes sense for you. Okay, that is a wrong way to sell life insurance. The reason is that you as a life insurance agent need to handle the objections, the real objections that are coming up. People don't just get qualified for a car, drive off the lot, and keep the car, not worrying about the payment. If you get qualified for a car, and you drove off the lot, you would probably come back because when the payment comes, you can't afford it. So you're going to drive off, feel like you won, and then you're going to come back to the car dealership and say, hey, you know what, that payment is way too high, I need to return it. And this is what people do with life insurance because we just get them qualified. Instead, as a life insurance agent, we need to understand what the true objections are. They need to think about it. Why do you need to think about it? Is it the price? Is it you're not sure if you need it? Well, Miss Betty, let me just tell you what we can do. What we can actually do, instead of getting you qualified, is we can actually lower your premiums to something smaller, so that you have something in place right now so that you can make sure that as a mother, you can go to bed at night knowing that your daughter is taken care of, because you told me how important that was earlier. And then we can set up something small now, and then later down the road, we can always increase it to maybe, increase it to like the 15,000. But let's start with something small that you know that you can keep it and that you can have it for the rest of your life, and then we can increase it later down the road. Does that sound fair? Okay, so if you are just getting people through and just using the qualifying, the approval language, you're just putting a Band-Aid over the problem. Typically, the problem is they can't afford it. They can't, they're worried about their budget. So you as the agent need to dissect. This is your permission to dissect and understand what the true objection is before you sell them a policy. Again, you do not help people by getting them qualified. You do not help people by getting them approved. You help them by helping them make a payment, to keep the payment, to make sure that if they die in 5 or 6 or 7 years on the road, that the policy is still active. So your mindset as a life insurance agent needs to change, or the clients are going to get policies and cancel them quickly because they just got approved. So use language like, let's go ahead and set up your payment, or we're going to go ahead and get you approved and we're going to set up your payment. What we're going to do is put your beneficiaries down and actually get you a policy. But we're not getting you qualified. We're not just getting you medically approved. We're not just getting you, qualified for now. We're going to set up a payment. We're going to get you taken care of. We're going to put a solution in place so that your daughter is taken care of. Okay. Second thing I want to go through, really, really important, is that you need your client to sell you in your sales process. This is not just, let's go ahead and see what happens here, Miss Betty. We're going to go ahead and submit the application, and we're going to go ahead and just get you taken care of. No, Miss Betty, we need you to confirm that in all areas of your sales process that you are agreeing to pay for this policy. We're not dancing around that there's a payment. We're not like holding our breath. Are they going to remember that they have to make a payment? Oh my gosh, should I tell them that there's a payment of $63? No. We're going to, okay. So when a client buys the policy, when they pick the option, I want the $10,000 for $63. You as the agent have to confirm the price. Miss Betty, first thing, is, Miss Betty, can you confirm that that $63 every single month will be comfortable and affordable for you coming out of your bank account? Can you confirm that for me? Yes, it will be. So before you move into the application, you need to let them know that this is a payment that they're going to have to make every single month. Confirm that and make sure it's comfortable. If they say, I'm not sure, then what do? You downsell them again. Well, I don't want you to get something you can't afford. Let's go ahead and try with something smaller so that we can have something you can keep for the rest of your life. Because if something happens with your light bill, the refrigerator goes out, we got to make sure that you can have this for the rest of your life. Does that sound fair, Miss Betty? And then you can downsell her. Never go into an application with question marks of like, can they actually afford this? Did they get the highest policy? Can they actually keep it? If that is what you're doing, you're going to get chargebacks, okay? Secondly, confirm in the application that the payments will work. So in the application, this is another opportunity for you to confirm you have the leverage. You need the client to sell you that they can keep this. There is no better feeling as a life insurance agent when you sell a client and they have a job, they have kids, they're responsible. They're like, I got the money. Oh yeah, I'm going to be there for you. Yep, no problem with the payment. I'm going to make sure it's on the first of the month. I got to make sure it's going to come out. I'm going to write it in my checkbook. And then at the end of the sale, you're like, oh my gosh, I got a great client. I got someone who I know is going to keep the policy. Why can't all my clients be like this? Probably because you're not engineering their environment of the sales process to help create like a duplicatable result. And the great way that you can do that is right here in the application process. Miss Betty, again, we're right here at the application. It shows me your premium of $63. Can you just confirm that that payment is comfortable and affordable for you every single month? Not just now, but into the future. Is that comfortable? If so, please state yes. So then you can now have her confirm again. So before you move into the application, in the application. Now the third way is right there at the end of the application. Before you submit this policy, Miss Betty, I just have to confirm one thing. Again, I got to make sure I'm putting you in the best position. Before I submit this and give you your policy number, can you confirm that that $63 fits the budget, it's comfortable and affordable, you'll never miss the payment, and that you can keep that every single month? Because the worst thing that I could do is get you a policy, and then in 6 months you pass away and your daughter says, my mom still have the policy in place, and I have to tell her, no, I got our policy that was too expensive, or your mom didn't make the payment. Okay, so can you promise me now and into the future you keep that policy in force for the rest of your life? If so, please state yes. So now you have another promise. So what I want to share with you guys is that it gives you like this confidence. You have leverage. You're not scared. You're not just doing this to get them a policy. So when they can make these commitments along the way in the application, you will build a better book of business, and you will have a way that you can keep your clients not only now, make their first payment, but also in the future. Okay. Now, the third thing I want to give you guys is it's okay to turn down clients. Okay. If you were just finding yourself knowing that you're selling bad business because people can't, if there's so many red flags in the sales process, do not sell them a life insurance policy. Don't just sell a policy just to get on a leaderboard. I did it, made massive mistakes. You got to be relative of people's incomes. For example, if you're selling final expenses like I do, and our agency does, they are on fixed incomes. If they make $1,000 a month and they have a $100 policy, that's 1/10 of their monthly income just went to final expense insurance. So they have $900 left that they have to live off of. Okay, think about how hard that is in inflation. So you got to be relative of people's income. Understand that. But the red flags I want you guys to keep in mind is, number one is, what premium did they select? If you're selling a $30, $40 premium, bad business. Another red flag to keep in mind is that they have no job. They had a life insurance policy about 3 months ago. They let it lapse. So if you find people who are repeat lapsers, people that continue to let lapse, what's going to change? They continue to bite off more than they can chew. So that's not your signal to continue to sell them life insurance, because if they've done it in the past, they're going to do it again. If someone is not honest, if someone is disrespectful in a call, if someone is not being truthful about their medical conditions, and you find out, that is not good signs that they are a client. And it's very concerning and red flags that you need to keep in mind. And most importantly, if people are like, oh, someone else is going to pay for it, or I'm not really sure, like the money's going to come out, and they still want to go ahead and buy a policy, you need to get the kinks out before you move forward. Well, Miss Betty, I need you to figure out, how is this payment going to be made? Because you told me that you don't have the money now. You don't have the money in the future. My daughter's I'm gonna borrow $45 from my daughter, and then her baby, her stepsister is gonna give me $22. You don't want those situations. You want people who know how they're gonna pay for their policies. And if you have any weird situations like that, you need to address those. Step up, be a man, and ask them, Miss Betty, how are you gonna pay for this policy? Now, a simple trick that will increase your chargeback rate, increase your retention rate. This aside will reduce your chargebacks because you have a higher retention rate on the front end of having a higher placement, is by having immediate starts. If people can pay for their policies right now today, those are the best clients to have. Now, do not let your clients walk all over you. you as the agent have to take control. And this is the last thing I want to share with you guys is, number one, you have to stop the approval language. Please, the approval to qualified. Handle the objections. Help them understand how they can actually find a solution to pay for their policies and have a policy for life. Don't just get them approved. That is killing you, and a lot of agents are trained that way. Secondly, is make sure that in the application, in your process, you have leverage. Have the client sell you on why they can keep this policy, and have them make continual commitments throughout the full sales process. And third is, do not sell everyone. Everyone is not a good buyer. Until that you feel confident that you can move this person into an application and that they're going to be a buyer, that they're going to be a client for life, and that they have a way to pay for it, and they're confident about how they're paying for it, and they're not using Direct Express, and they're not using a credit card, don't do that business, then you can have some leverage. You can turn people away, and then they can come back to you and actually have a solution. Because the worst thing you can do, sell business, feel like you're making money, you're doing well, the client doesn't, gets a policy, they cancel it, and you're owed a chargeback, and you are going to be hurt as an agent. If you're tired of having chargeback debt, take this video into effect. Change your behavior by reducing that language. Change your language. Ultimately, turn clients away if they are not suitable for your needs, and most importantly, to have the client sell you on why they need the policy. I hope this helped you guys, gave you some context, the real juice, just documenting the business journey of how we can even increase our retention rate, reduce chargebacks, because chargebacks are no fun. So I love you guys. Hope this video helped you, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Cheers.